entertainment and information source that the Trauma team knows of. It's the best. The Dorkening.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Hey.
Flash pages. Hey.
Hey.
We got an awesome show scheduled for you today. We have a great guest. The 420 comic is joining us today, and we're going to be talking about some new comic books, some comic book news. We'll be covering our poll list and a bunch of other stuff as well. But without further ado, Jeremy, how's it going?
Hey, man, it's friggin' been a great night. The apocalypse of 2022 happened a little while ago here in Westfield, Massachusetts. The lights went out for an hour and a half, and I had an 8-year-old stress eating. I had a million candles in my house lit up, though it was like 5 in the afternoon and it was bright as day in here. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. We survived. We made it.
Now, do you live in like that paranormal, like triangle part of Massachusetts?
I don't know. Do I?
What is it? It's called
I live
Bridgewater,
on
right?
the map. On the map that I share with everybody, it says it's where dragons be. So I'm not really sure.
Okay. Yes, the Bridgewater Triangle, I think. Isn't that right, Drew?
Oh, okay, cool. No, the screen wasn't frozen. I was just listening to this ridiculousness. Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be here. My day isn't as bad as Jeremy's. And why is he so sweaty?
No AC.
Glad to be here. We have a great book. Can't wait to go into. And hello to our guest.
Oh, yeah. So our guest Actually, you know what? He does so much. I'm going to let him describe himself. Jeff, the 420 comic. How's it going, sir? You do it all.
It's doing great. I'm here in fabulous sunny Las Vegas, where it's 111 degrees. But fortunately, I'm in an air-conditioned building. Sorry to hear about your stuff there, Jar Jar.
Oh, it's only 80 degrees here. I'm fine.
But yeah, I am a consummate nerd, man. I'm a heavy metal nerd. I'm a comic book nerd. I was so fortunate I got to work for Stan Lee back in 1990.
Awesome.
Got my start in animation at 17 when I first worked on She-Ra. But went on to work on X-Men, Batman, Fantastic Four, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, a bunch of nerdy stuff, Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks, stuff like that, all kinds of stuff. And I did that for 18 years, worked in animation and did rock and roll. My brother and I had a heavy metal band back in the day, 30 years ago, called Night Riot. And oddly enough, a Greek record label just decided to make a best of 30 years later. And so we have a new CD out called Beware the Night on Arkan Steel Records, which is a surprise to me. But also, besides doing stand-up comedy for 20 years and working with just the best in the business, I get to work with Cheech and Chong and Willie Nelson and Ziggy Marley, people like that. But I make comic books. Me and my brother just churn out comics like nobody's business. Now, I make cannabis-themed comic books specifically. And have you guys noticed a trend that's been going on here in the comic book media? Slowly but surely, everything's falling into my realm. We have the shows like The Boys and I forgot a Soldier Boy is a huge pothead, right?
Yeah.
Scarecrow on Titans is addicted to weed, and Robin apparently is his dealer. I mean, they smoke weed on Doom Patrol. They smoke weed on the Umbrella Academy. So it's just, I remember when I started making cannabis-themed comic books in 2013, people were like, that's not going to work. I mean, yeah, Jay and Silent Bob, but no one's going to be into superheroes that smoke weed on a regular basis, superheroes and villains. Well, here we are. Our 27th issue just came out this week. So,
hell yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And just want to let everybody know, definitely check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. I got all the links for Jeff right there. So if you want to go follow him or check out his comics, you can do so. And, marijuana has definitely been, proliferating into our world, with more and more states making it legal. And a lot of people finding out the health benefits from it, and especially like for your mental status, everybody's gone through hell last several years. You're going to find an explosion of, people turning to it for help,
I have some thoughts. First things first, should we even do the show? Because after his bio, I was like, okay, that's it. We what can we do? Like this, like I was just like, okay, cool. So he did that at 17.
yeah.
Okay.
Here we are at 40s, and we're all like,
all these. I was like, you know what? I feel so small, so infinitesimally small. My God,
I've lived a lot of lives. I feel like a Philip K. Dick novel. Lived several lives, and what's neat is I had the good fortune of being growing up in an animation family. My aunt was an animator when I was a kid, and she worked for Filmation. So my brothers and I, my three older brothers, I would stand there watching the artists draw Fat Albert and Tarzan and Star Trek and all this. And we were just like, and two of the four brothers stayed and went, oh my God, I got to do that. I got to know how. So my brother Chris at 17 dropped out of high school, started working on Fat Albert. He worked for Ralph Bakshi on Fire and Ice. And so when I was 17, they said, hey, stop staring do some stuff here. And then I you know, my goal was to work for Stan Lee, and I got to, and it was really cool. But I really loved animation in general, and just I pinched myself that I did this. But I did a very specific thing. I directed mouth movements for 18 years. It was called lip assignment, and it was fun when they would call me in to save a show like Fantastic Four season 2. They said season 1 looks like shit. Please come in and save it. And I'm like, Fantastic Four is my favorite team, and I get to work with Chuck McCann. Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Cool.
Well, you don't think about it, but like I remember as a kid watching certain cartoons and like, hey, their mouths aren't matching what they're saying. You know, it's you know, you easily pick up on stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And it became something that like I really wanted to be an expert at it. My brother Eric was also a lip assignment guy. He got Emmys. He worked on Muppet Babies and The Tick and Gargoyles and stuff. But I worked on so many great shows. I worked on Liberty's Kids and Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century, shows I really think were just awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
The good weird shows.
Mutant League.
Oh, that was cool stuff.
That was so bizarre. Super Duper Sumos. I worked on some really weird shows, you know. But Biker Mice from Mars. I think Biker Mice from Mars should have been a movie.
Totally. And now, Leo, the one thing I wanted to add to your conversation or your lovely commentary about, you know, how marijuana is being so much more widespread, or as our 50s people would call it, the devil's lettuce, back in the day.
I like salads.
I am finding yes, I'm aware you do. I've done this show with you enough. You very much like a lot of salad. You might want to do less salad. But the thing I am about right now is I'm fine with us, you know, toking up, chilling, everything. I am tired of going into places and I smell bad weed. That's my thing. That's my thing. You walk in and you're like, oh my God. Like,
another reason.
I remember I was walking through Times Square and I was like, my God, I'm like, I have the opposite of a contact high. I'm just
Headache.
irritated right now because I'm just, oh God.
Yeah.
Jeez, New York smells worse.
Yeah, I'm on the West Coast. It'd be hard pressed for me to find bad smelling weed.
I've actually gone out.
Good.
I grow, so I've gone out of my way now to find, like, I still haven't found any just like old school Mexican dirt. Because, like, dude, you put a little patience to any plant, it's.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think, like how is this so abused? Like they just gave us crap. You know, you'd pull out hairs and maybe a chicken bone.
Sometimes would taste like soap. It was like, what the hell happened?
We were
dude. Kids today don't even know the struggle.
The neat thing
Leo, can we just sit and watch these two talk? Like, I think this is pretty entertaining right now.
Velvet, I miss you, man. Hope you get. He's having on the comments. You didn't put it through, Leo. He said have a great show. You did? I totally missed it. Yeah, well.
I'm sorry, you were talking to your new pop sensei. So, you know, you guys are going to exchange info.
Master.
Yeah, this is like it's like Revenge of the Nerds 2 with James Wong. He's like he's teaching them how to do a better loogie.
James Wong's greatest role. It's a movie called Too Much Sun. He plays Frank Della Rocca. He plays Ralph Macchio's father. It's hilarious. And Ralph Macchio and Robert Downey Jr. are buddies in this. That's
interesting.
That's a great James
movie
Wong.
At the time.
It's called Too Much Sun. But you know what's neat is these comic books. Like, here's my one for Boston. It's called Puff the Parrot, and it's based in Boston, and it's getting a lot of play there in New England. And this is Ja Healing. This is a California-based one. This is higher education. It's based in Virginia. And my latest, the Legend of Mean Green #3, the gold issue, is our 27th issue. We've put out 5 comic books this year. So
Yeah,
we're just pumping them out, and I couldn't do this without my brother Dagwood. He does amazing colors. We do these graphics together, and the neat thing is about it is we go old school with the newsprint. I mean, you don't see too much more with the newsprint, and I searched all across the country to make sure I got,
so that means we can stick silly putty to it and the ink will come off. That's awesome.
And even Kevin Smith didn't think
nice.
in Silent Bob stuff to put cannabis themed advertising, which I do. I have cannabis themed advertising, and some of it is really clever. Like this guy right here. I mean, it looks like an old school comic book, but it's all themed. So
that's awesome.
I'm really enjoying. I was on a TV show called The Marijuana Show, which is the Shark Tank for stoners. They were on Amazon Prime. In fourth, they had, I think, 5 seasons. I was the season 1 winner, and I won with comic books. They like,
sweet.
Everyone else was trying to sell grow solutions or seeds and stuff, and I was like, I'm going to make comic books for stoners, and they were like, that's just crazy, and I won. So I've been, really pushing this medium, and now to see, like I said, to see Soldier Boy smoking a doobie in the episode of The Boys, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, it's just, it's awesome.
Oh, I'm telling you, like quarter of Stranger Things was 2 of the characters. This Pizza Hut fucking guy, pizza guy, just like, hey man, it was great.
Well, Soldier Boy, didn't they make a comment like why do you have to give him like 2 pounds of was there there was a comment like the amount that they gave him was insane.
Like he just like weed more than Snoop Dogg ever could. Like and what's great is I love that episode of Titans when Robin literally is scoring weed at the behest of Commissioner Barbara Gordon to get the Scarecrow weed. And so that means, is there a dispensary in Gotham?
It's gotta be.
It's Gotham.
I think they even did I think they even had it in Resident Alien. And
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Listen, Commissioner Gordon definitely had something a little bit more intense in his pipe, dealing with Batman and all the Gotham shenanigans. He was like, all right, fuck this.
I don't even think Batman's real. Commissioner Gordon's just smoking some really good weed. Just sitting up there on top of a fucking building like, oh, the Joker.
My superhero characters, the villains and the superheroes, the one thing they have in common is they all smoke weed pretty much. but it's like these shows, it's just part of their lifestyle. It's not like their full focus. It's not like they would grab their bong over getting into a fist fight. They're going to get into a fight first. And we get to touch on some conspiracy theory stuff in this issue. We have a lot of fun, and I'm just trying to make entertaining there for the cannabis world and the comic book world, and we're really hoping our Big Lebowski comic book series, The Achievers, we really want that to be a animated series, so we're working on that right now.
Oh, that'd be cool. Is it actually follow the Big Lebowski characters?
It does. It's I can grab it for you real quick. Check this out, guys. It is a.
It really tied the room together, Jeremy.
My buddy Jeff Dowd, who is the real dude, who Jeff Bridges portrays in the movie, he's given me some insight to the real dude. So this is black and white. It's set in the apocalypse of Los Angeles in 2033. And so the neat thing is what it does is it touches upon a lot of Jeff Bridges' characters. And I mean, just right here.
Hanging out with Aquaman.
Aquaman, we've got Captain Ron, we've got Lance from Pulp Fiction, we've got Moondog from the Beach Bum, and we've got Prescott from King Kong. So I will take Jeff Bridges' characters and other characters from films, and I will just put them right in my comic book.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, so this is a huge love letter to Jeff Bridges. I mean, and I do the achievers are Brother Seamus, Special Lady, the Bear, and Nice Marmot. So it's all Lebowski lore. I'm a Judas Priest, so I'm really into the Big Lebowski.
Hell yeah.
Very cool. So what goes into making your own comic?
Well, I'm glad you asked. What I do is, at this point, I'm working with clients that have a dream of taking either their likeness or their maybe their business. In the case of Puff the Parrot, this is the logo. Puff the Parrot was this guy, Cool Guy Candy's logo, and he decided he wanted a comic book about it. So what I do is I work with the client, conceive some cool ideas. We're working with a specific audience, so I try not to go over their heads. I try to keep it fun and comical, with some action, with some bing bang booms in there, and but nothing. I'm not gonna say I can compete with Marvel or DC or Dark Horse in the kind of the serious style they do. I definitely do a more cartoony style, and the fact that I was raised on Filmation and Hanna-Barbera, and I got to work for Hanna-Barbera, like that's how my characters definitely look. They look like cartoon characters from Saturday morning, and that's just fine with me. So, and then I will sketch them. My brother then will he's my colorist and graphic artist. He'll also do the lettering on the words that I write. So I do the illustration, writing, and the conception, and my brother helps bring it to life in a way that I couldn't. And he's so great with the layout and all that technical stuff. I don't know. I'm just an artist, but I'm having a blast writing stories, writing really fun scenarios and stories, and they're not just fluff pieces. They're actually, if I may say so, pretty cool. Like, for example, in this episode of The Legend of Mean Green, the Terp market in Los Angeles, which is a farmer's market for cannabis, is invaded by three guys from the future who happen.
Farmer's market for cannabis?
They do in Los Angeles.
You guys suck.
Yeah.
Massachusetts sucks.
So what's happening is these guys from the future, they come in and invade the Terp market, and they're called Triple Threat, and
Nice.
and they consist of triple beam, blunt force, and microdose. So we have fun with all this stuff with kind of drug references and all that, and yeah, I think we've really latched into an audience. My comics are available from coast to coast, and we're in 22 states and about 42 stores right now, and I think it's only a matter of time before somebody sees this on a bigger scale, and we have some opportunities.
I could definitely see like a cool Netflix cartoon or something like that.
That's what I would love Hulu to talk to us. That would be great.
I mean, they're always doing like they have some weird shows on there, like the cartoon wise. So like, yeah. I could definitely.
Well, what's great is, if we've noticed, guys, is we all love the core DC and Marvel universes, which they really haven't even tapped into to our satisfaction. But it's now great to see these real indie characters start to get a chance, like Invincible and some of these shows. So that gives me a lot of hope. That gives me, like, I could see, Legend of Mean Green or Higher Education, Higher Powers, as they're called, as an animated series. And maybe we have over 200 characters in our universe now, since we've been around since 2013. So, I mean, we have enough to make our own kind of larger show with a larger universe. So, and one of the things too, by being a voice guy that worked with a lot of amazing talent. I mean, I worked with the best voiceover actors and celebrities just by happenstance. I'm going to tap into that when I make my animated series, and so you'll hear some real celebrities and go, "Wow, how'd you get that guy or that woman?" You know, so
That's awesome.
yeah. I used to teach Sunday school. Here's an interesting note. I used to teach Sunday school back in 1993. I was
What happened?
20. And I used to teach Sunday school. I had long hair. I looked just like this. I had a beard, and I wore Iron Maiden shirts, and I taught Sunday school. The guy who taught with me every Sunday for 3 years
Must have been the coolest church ever.
That's right. The voice of the Tick. Every Sunday, he was next to me. And
No
he's
way.
all Hello from the original Turtles. But I got to work with Townsend Coleman every Sunday, and he would just go, "What are we doing this Sunday?" So I just made like a Saturday Night Live for kids every Sunday.
Dude, that's freaking.
Yeah, so I'm still
That's
friends
great.
with. Saw him recently, and you know, to be friends with the Tick is pretty awesome.
My Sunday school sucked.
Oh, come on. The Tick was amazing. That's awesome. I was
Oh,
going to say, Leo, we keep this up, you know, well, we're going to end up in one of his books. I'm like, wow, that's pretty meta. That's us. You
I
know?
like that.
And
I
you know,
ended
and
up in Tim Jones's little cartoon. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you? Or
Yeah,
I keep thinking what like eventually he's gonna do that idea I jokingly said. That
Oh,
one
he
time.
probably will.
Oh, I'm fairly certain when we re-meet him, we were like, "Hi, do you remember us?" And we're just gonna be like, and it was like, "Oh, you three." I'm like, "Yep." You know, that's kind of how I imagine when we re-meet anyone we've interviewed, like Joe St. Pierre. He's like, "These guys." I'm like, "This guy," you know, 90s. You know, well, listen, but on top of it, Jeremy, I still really want to sample some of your work, but I
Oh,
really
dude,
have to. Pace myself.
are you doing Terrificon?
I'm gonna hold on, Leo. Am I doing Terrificon?
It's up to you if you're coming down or not.
Oh my god!
Everybody's sampling my
Yes,
work at
you're-
Terrificon.
Oh my god!
I went the wrong
Yes,
direction.
I
you-
probably won't.
To go to Terrificon. He
You
turned
know
me down.
what? You know what? I have my bar over here. I'm gonna drink this and fill this with something stronger because I can't handle all of you. The Brady Bunch up here, and this guy, not this. God damn it, this guy.
See,
over
I
here.
changed. Oh, it still is mirrored.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought
Drew
I
is
swapped
doing
that.
Terrificon. He's going to be doing one of the days
Oh, yeah.
as Dead Poo.
I don't know how much flour I'll have with me, but I'll
Character.
definitely have brownies for
Oh
everybody.
yeah. So Steve. So basically, what that is I took a Winnie the Pooh and I just put a
Oh, yeah.
Deadpool mask on it. So I'm Deadpool.
I like
And
it.
it's
Great match.
what happened? Thank you. Yeah, it was a comic, and nobody was doing it because everything was like, oh, you know, it's a movie, it's more popular. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I did it. And everyone's like, you're a genius. I'm like, it's been a book the whole time. None of you read. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. And I just walk around and I troll everybody, and because I'm a mixed character, I get to interact with everyone.
Right.
So I think my favorite was I went up to a Thanos and I said, "Can I borrow that? I'm trying to get on Kingdom Hearts 4, so I feel like this is my league. This is to the big leagues. You know, look for me. Infinity won't let this." And he was like, "Nah." I'm like, "Listen, I'll bring it back. You'll get at least 3 of them back. I can assure you of that."
Awesome.
You know, but it's and I just troll everybody. Like I always greet superheroes by their real name. But no, it's fun.
I got to give a shout out to the guys that got me on here. The Talking with the Dead dudes.
Oh yeah, Jeff and Ben.
Those guys are great, man. So you know, if you
I was
notice,
actually going to ask if you guys were going to do a crossover.
I've talked about that with them. That would be neat. And the neat thing is we've crossed over advertising in each other's stuff, which I kind of perpetuated.
It would be kind of cool if their characters came into your book as drawn by you too. Like it would be like their art style change, and then vice versa. Some of your characters go into their book and drawn in that style.
I would love. I think it would be really neat, and I'm into what they're doing, and what to me. I say the more the marijuana, you know, the more the cannabis themed comic book companies or artists out there, the better, because there's probably like 30 right now that are making none. I dare say none at the pace that we are. I mean, we're coming out with them faster than most companies, but I think it's great, and I think this will lead to some kind of cannabis comic book cons in the future. Crossover cons, which I think.
Even Image last
I'm
month
sorry.
or the month before.
What's your crossover's name? Crisis on Infinite Pot Farms.
Not Infinite.
I actually like that.
You know what? I forgot already.
Writing that down.
Yeah, you just make all the puns. Yeah. Civil pothead, fear ganja. I don't know. I don't know. And again, I can't think of any more deep jokes. There you go, the dark bud.
It's been a challenge to come up with over 200 characters that are cannabis themed, which I have.
I can imagine.
Oh my God! Could you imagine like a weed version of Scarecrow?
Yeah,
just made out of.
Well, the funny thing is Scarecrow's halfway there. He just but yeah. The Floronic Man is partially made of hemp and cannabis. I don't know if you know that character, Floronic Man, is made of cannabis.
Didn't they have a cocaine
character
too?
You just invite Swamp Thing to a party, let him do his thing, boom, done. Everyone has a good time.
Right. Yeah, right.
What's the guy's name up in Massachusetts? Is that Pot Squatch?
I'm sorry, what?
The guy that I'm working with out of Massachusetts is a cool guy.
No. There's this guy. Whenever there's like a blizzard.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he dresses up and he goes in like this total weed outfit and attacks the news reporters.
Hey,
Hot Squatch.
Hey, Leo,
Hot Squatch.
Next time we do something like this, can you let me know in advance so I can get some edibles? Because I feel like I'm not on the same wavelength here. Yeah. And I feel like I need to expand and also mellow out at the same time.
Jeff, do you partake in growing?
Pardon me?
Do you do any growing? I mean, with the Las Vegas sun, I can imagine it must be beautiful.
I don't have a green thumb. I leave it to the experts. I have so many friends that are Cannabis Cup winners,
You're lucky.
I'm just not that. So what I do is I'm like the cannabis court jester. I do comedy and sketches.
Shower you with weed.
Yeah, and so like I'll be at October 8th. I
Where's
work with
that?
a lot of hip hop artists. That's in Adelanto, California.
What was the name of the place again?
It's the event's called Kush Stock.
Ooh.
And it's a big cannabis event. I'm the only comedian that performs in it generally, and I performed with Bone Thugs and Harmony, and
hell yeah!
Oh my God, Too Short.
Nice.
Who else? Exhibit just recently. Yeah, I mean we do.
I was not expecting this tall class of milk to drop Exhibit, Too Short, and like what? Bone Thugs and Harmony.
You wouldn't believe
and harmoniums.
Wow. Credentials, dude. I've worked with Afro Man, Red Man, Lil Flip, Devin Dude. I've worked with the Alcoholics. I've worked with EPMD. I've worked with
damn Jeff.
Oh my God, I've worked with all these famous. But see, I'm an Iron Maiden head. So.
Yeah. I was like, hold on.
Yeah. See, Jeremy, you too can get there.
Yeah,
I guess so. I just
you
gotta.
Can. You really can. Yeah.
There he is.
Pot Squatch.
It's Pot Squatch.
Yeah.
I gotta meet.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's up in
no, it's not me.
This dude's going in my comic book for sure. Pot Squatch. I'm already.
Hold on.
Pot Squatch.
Time out. Hold on. Wait a second. What Earth is this? Okay, because I'm
616.
20.
Okay, no, I know it's a 616. I'm asking you what doorway, Doctor Strange style, did we just open up to see.
That was awesome.
I'm sorry, because that literally looked like a hemp swamp thing.
Yeah,
right there. Look,
that dude's
like
cool.
that. Yeah, like
We have a character like that in our universe. His name is Trim, and he's he's a bunch of trim put to life. He was radioactive.
Somebody was throwing away their trim, those stupid amateurs.
And it melted with the guy that was trimming it, and he turned into basically a hot switch. And that's from our very first issue back in 2013. From Super Stoners #1.
I was actually going to say, Image put out a all pot comic a few months ago. Brian Posehn wrote it.
Posehn?
Yeah,
Posehn. I say it wrong all the time. I hung with him for a few seconds at Terrificon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Brian Posehn is such an. I've done comedy with him. I've smoked weed with him. This is a true story. My brother were in Denver. I had just done a show at another comedy club, and my brother and I are walking in downtown Denver, and there is a diner, and there's this little area where people are waiting, the seating area to be seated, and I see a bald guy just from behind in the window, and I said to my brother, wait a second, I know who this is. It's Brian Posehn. and I read Brian Posehn from behind, bald, and dude, I turn around like, hey, what's up, man?
Dude, that was the exact same thing that happened to me at Terrificon. I saw the guy walk by, and he wasn't even supposed to be there. He was there as just a regular commoner as us. And I saw him walk by. I'm like, just the back of his head. I was like,
that's it.
Brian Posehn. And I ran up to him. I'm like, dude, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, hey, man, I'm about to go outside. You want to come along? I'm like, all right.
I mean, if Brian Posehn says that to you, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, all right. Got him to sign this shirt that I was doing for charity and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Funny enough, I met him at Terrificon, and I had like all of the Deadpool that he had written with Jerry Dugan, and he was like, wow, this is really cool. You got like the whole book, and I'm just like, yes, I'm a big fan. Yeah, well, if you see a lot of what he does, you can kind of get like the tone and the way that he says things. It's really easy. Well, Jeremy, I got to keep up. You made this thing like every time we do a show, I do a different voice that I didn't know I could do.
It works for me. I love it.
I just blow you away. Like, what was it? I did the Marge. Was it?
Oh, the Marge. Yeah, Marge Simpson last.
Yeah, I did Marge, and you were just like, "Where the hell did this come from?" You were like,
I'm telling you, I love voices. I think people that can do voices, like I can only do a couple really good, but people who have that ability, I think that is such a cool talent.
That's what my job is. I'm known for doing ice.
Yeah.
No, I did ice and Coco, and he didn't even kill me, man. That's I'm known for I'm known for doing voices. I do.
Oh, Ozzy. Oh yeah.
Look, I have a new album out, you guys, but I don't want to tour for it. I want to retire. Please let me go. Let me get my Sharon!
Very nice.
I used to do Gilbert Gottfried, but he died.
There we go.
Now I don't know what to do. Should I do him or not do him? I don't know.
Oh, I used to love when he would go on Stern.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I do about 15 celebrity impressions in my like headlining act. When I do my headlining act, I do celebrity impressions, and it's fun. I used to do celebrity impressions on the radio, and people didn't know I would be Gary Busey. And the thing is, I'd be on LA radio, and people would think that this is actually Gary Busey. Look,
that is fucking hilarious.
You're a multi-dimensional, interplanetary spirit being, is what you are. You're a star.
That is good. That is really good.
That was shockingly good. It was like honestly watching. I was like, wow, it's like watching Point Break, but without Keanu.
Yeah.
You are an FBI agent.
Yeah,
you're young.
He's the one. He's the one who taught me about what it means to really eat a gigantic sandwich while on a stakeout.
Yeah, this is so weird. I did Gary Busey on the radio for like 6 years, like on Fraser Smith's show in Los Angeles, and I would do it on his podcast. I would do it, and we would just call in, and I would pretend I'm this friend of Fraser's, and it's Gary Busey. Well, we pulled a Mandela effect, and I contacted Gary Busey, and I said, "Would you please come on the show like you always do?" Because he's never actually been on the show, and it was always me. And he said, "You send me a car out to Malibu, and I will be there." We sent a car. He came on the show. He was on for 2 segments, and in between one of the commercials, he turned to Fraser Smith and said, "You know, Jeffrey Peterson does the best Gary Busey in the business." Nope. And we thought we were fooling him. He was so smart. So
that is so good. I know that's all an act on him. Like,
yeah,
it can't be.
Yeah, he's
that
really
man is a genius. I know it.
The other character I've gotten to become chummy with, who's hilarious to me, is my buddy Sam J. Jones. How's it going, buddy? The Flash. Have you guys met the Flash yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got his autograph actually right above me.
You know what's great? You know what I learned about the Flash? It's weird. That's not his voice in the whole movie. The entire movie is dubbed. That is not his voice one time.
Really?
You know, there's a documentary about it. Dino De Laurentiis got pissed at him and said, "Oh, you want to argue with me? Guess what? I'll replace your voice," and replaced his voice.
Oh, jeez.
So that's when he goes, "Flash Gordon, quarterback." That's not him. So Sam J. Jones, man, I met him and I go, "Dude, you're so great in Ted." I go, "I'm gonna go smoke some weed. You want to go smoke some weed?" He goes, "No can do, brother. I used to have a pretty bad weed addiction back in the 80s. I was smoking 8 bongs a day." I said, "I smoke 8 bongs."
Yeah, that's this morning, man.
He was hilarious. So he's cool. Every time I see Sam
that
J.
is
Jones,
pretty funny.
Hilarious. Yeah.
He comes out to a few of the cons out here often. Yeah.
It's great. These cons are awesome because as time goes by, celebrities are becoming more and more needy, and they have to bow down to the cons.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
seeing like Richard Dreyfuss, and you're seeing these celebrities, like real, famous actors now are like at cons where you could come up and talk to them. It's bizarre,
I think that's the funniest thing. And then you have like the 2 kinds: the people who are like, "Oh yeah, times are hard. I'll make sure my prices are affordable, but I still make a little." And then you have the people who are like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be this much to meet me," and I'm just like,
$500 for a picture.
2 minutes. I'm paying $500 for 3 minutes. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Right.
Dude, that's why I never did the Stanley experience. I wanted to, but dude, I'm like, and you just get pushed through this line. I was just like, that's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
I would want to sit down and for a second be like, "Hey man, how's it going?" Like, added to so much of my childhood.
Jeremy, it gets weird because I was on, and Jess Harnell, the voice from Animaniacs and all these.
Oh yeah.
Jess is such a cool, rock star dude, right? And I like I said, I know a lot of voice actors. So I see him and his girlfriend. I go, "Jess, what's up, dude?" And I just say hi to him. And one of the handlers from the convention go, "I'm sorry, we can't have you talking to him. We can't have you. He's got to be behind a booth." I'm like, "We know each other, dude." They're like, "Yeah, but still, it's not really." So it gets weird.
Some of the handlers can be real dicks.
Oh yeah.
But what's even terrible is
but probably for good reason.
Well, for a good reason, but then there are some actors that you meet. What I hate is somebody that you really enjoyed and it turns out they're a dick as well.
Oh yeah, that's heartbreaking. It really is.
Leo, did somebody hurt you?
Yes.
Who was it?
Oh my God, he turned
Robert Englund.
No, I've been a fan of this actor since the 80s. I'm not going to say it is.
Lou Ferrigno.
No.
Oh,
Hey, Angela. You know, I'm not gonna say who it is. I was getting his autograph, but I paid. We had a photographer, in line. He was gonna take his picture. I was gonna pay for the picture, and he ended up being just like a dick. He got upset with like the photographer was even in line, and I'm like, we're gonna pay for a picture, but yeah.
Who was this?
I'm not gonna say who it is, but it's
We don't get away with that yet, Jeff. We have to wait. We're not on your level.
Leo is a professional. He'll never kiss and tell. We got to get him drunk first.
My
Then he'll tell him.
My heart was broken when I met Susan Day from the Partridge Family in LA long years ago, and I tried to say hi to her, and I told her I'm a big fan, and she just like berated me for bothering her. And I was like,
no.
Hey,
wow.
That's devastating.
That is.
I tried to get a selfie with Dee's twisted sister, and he was like, "I'm too busy. My wife's calling me," and I'm like, "No."
The bassist from Megadeth gave me shit because I said to him, "I used to love your music," and because you fuck up when you're talking, you're just like, "Yeah, man, I used to love you," and he was like, "Oh man, we still put out music. You don't need to talk to me," and he walked away. I was like, "Oh shit."
It's okay.
My bad.
He's for sexual harassment, so you're better than him.
Good.
I think what it is when you meet somebody at a con, and again, it's exactly what you want. And I've met a few celebrities like that, but I've never been disappointed with a voice actor. Anytime I met any voice actor, I met all the Animaniacs.
The dude that did Robin in the
Jim Cummings. But the one that hands down has always been my favorite is Maurice LaMarche. Hands down.
He's a great
one
guy.
Of the great.
Such a smart guy too, because he was a stand-up comedian for years, and he's just like he really knows the public. He and Rob Paulson are both geniuses at this, and I know all these guys, and they're all how they comport themselves is very important, and it's they don't, it's taken years for them to realize just how important their contribution is to our experience. It's huge.
Yeah. When I met Maurice the first time, he was telling a story. It was at Kineticon. I think it was 2014, 2013. And he was doing a panel with Rob, because, and whatnot. And I will say this, guys, you haven't lived till you've heard Pinky and the Brain read Green Eggs and Ham. Letting you know, that was a trip. But he was saying that one of the best compliments that he gets from people is people saying, "Thank you for my childhood," and because and he's responsible. Thank you for my middle age. But he's so great, and it's amazing. And Jeff, I'm sure again you just did it with your impressions. Hell, I could do it my own. It's amazing they can just slip right into the voices. I remember I was talking to him, and I was saying how much of a Ghostbusters fan I am, and he was Egon in the real Ghostbusters. And he'll just go straight into the voice, like it was nothing. It's just it's
one of his personalities. It's one of the personalities. Because when I worked with Townsend Coleman, I would just talk to him like I was, Arthur or something like that, because I'm working with the Tick, and it is really amazing to when I got to work with Chuck McCann from the Fantastic Four. He was the ultimate Thing. Nobody's ever sounded like the Thing as much as he did. He was perfect. He sounded just like him. And he was also the voice of Sonny for Cocoa Puffs for all those years. So when I met him, I was like, "Oh my God, dude, you're Sonny from Cocoa Puffs."
I'm telling you, one of my favorite interviews ever was Larry Kenny. I wasn't even doing the interview. I was behind the camera, but I just closed my eyes, and it was like Lion-O was sitting there talking to me in my headset. I was sitting there I was 12 years old, sitting there 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning, just like, oh my God, this is great.
Yep. No, but Jeremy, not too much has changed. It's just now.
I know.
It's now 9.
No, not 12.
No, now it's 9 a.m. Exactly. Now
And
it's
I'm
9
not
a.m.
12.
And the cereal is still the same.
Yes, the cereal is.
I just want to
Bowl's a
add
lot
real
bigger.
quick. I had the chance. I only had like 5 minutes with them, but interviewed Peter Cullen and Frank Welker.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, I met Frank Welker at Rhode Island, and I made the mistake of bringing my Proton Pack to sign because I had Maurice sign it. And if you're a real Ghostbusters fan, Frank Welker, he was Ray. He did Ray. He did Slimer. He did a lot of the villains. If you know your voice animation, you can always hear their voices. And I met him, and I had him sign it. He signed it as Slimer, and he, one whole thing. And I had my photo with him, and I just keep thinking the whole time, I was like, my God, his voice is basically Fred from Scooby-Doo. The whole time he's just talking, and I'm just like, all right, gang, we're going to split up now. Let's just play the music. So as Stewie Griffin would do,
the cool thing for me was when I worked on these cartoons, I would get the audio tape before the director would get it. So I'd put in the dialogue, right? And like say when I worked on Gadget Boy, I'm like, oh my God, I'm working with Don Adams. This is Tennessee Tuxedo. I mean, this is unbelievable. So when I got to work with some of these famous people, it's just really neat because especially like a show like Liberty's Kids. I mean, there was so many. Walter Cronkite was the voice of Benjamin Franklin, and then they would have Ben Stiller and Billy Crystal and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and Liam Neeson. They were all on that show, and it was like, I'm like, oh my God, there's Liam Neeson. That's him.
And that's when they had to come in studio.
Washington, and then they pulled them away. It was kind of interesting. but yeah, I got to. I mean, it was, and I worked on another show called Happily Ever After, and I mean that was like, Chris Rock and like Denzel Washington, and like I just couldn't believe the people that they don't know I've worked with them, and the coolest guy that got blown away with what I do directing mouth movements was Mark Hamill, because I worked on season 1 of Batman, and plus I've worked on at least 3 other shows where Mark Hamill was in the Hulk and Fantastic Four. He was like blown away. He's like, honey, this guy directs my mouth when I talk. He told his wife, you got to meet this guy. Tell me what you do again. I was like, wow.
Mike, I mean, I have a very short bucket list of people that I want to meet before I die.
Yeah.
And Mark has always been up there, not just because Luke Skywalker, but also because, I mean, come on.
His voiceover work is
his voiceover work. It's just
I love the 90s Flash series and him as the trickster. He was so great.
Yeah. And then when they brought him back.
The neat thing about the way I met him at the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back rap party. So if it wasn't for my buddy that worked on that movie, I got to go and under those circumstances, it was especially cool because I nerded out with Kevin Smith for about 25 minutes just talking comics.
I would love to just sit down for an hour and just talk with that man. Like, like I'm super pumped about Clerks 3. I love most of his work. I have to say I haven't loved it all. Like there are some that I was just like, you worked on this. I just don't care.
He'll always remember me because when I saw him again, like right before he had his heart attack, and I told him, your best work is by far Tusk. I said, Tusk to me is brilliant. It's one of the best horror movies I've ever seen, and I just love it. And he was like, finally, somebody gets it. You're the one guy. He said, I'm the one guy.
I
definitely watched it and was entertained thoroughly. I just did not get it.
I just watched it and I was just like, Okay, so never answering a personal ad for a costume.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That
Listen,
was
your
so-
tusk is good, but I will counter with 2 words: pillow pants. Thank you.
Oh God.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about Kevin Smith. You know, more Smith, more power. But all just aside, very short bucket list. But Mark is always just. I would just want to be like, ooh, something fun. You know, I feel like I would have one of. I very rarely have had starstruck moments. But I feel like that would be one of the moments where I was like, how does words have failed me? You talk, I listen. Bask in glory. Do you want a drink?
Yeah, it was cool because he was probably, you know, because it was a rap party, he was probably, you know, in very good spirits. So I caught him.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a fandom moment. It was just like, you know, I just went up and talked to him. So it was sometimes things work out like that. And you know, one thing I've discovered is if I'm able to get like an artist booth or some kind of vending booth, especially an artist booth at like a con, it changes the whole landscape. Because if I'm an artist at a con, then I can walk right up to Lou Ferrigno and go, "Hey Lou, we worked on the Hulk together," and he doesn't go, "Hey, you got to get in line," because I'm that guy right over there at that booth. So it's really neat. I mean, I've been walked right up to Jim Shooter and talked to him because I was just another artist. I was just someone else. So I love that. That's probably my favorite part about cons is trying to use that to talk to people that I could never talk to.
I know. I'm looking forward to Terrific Con because I'm finally
Drew,
working the booth.
You're gonna have that press pass around your neck. It's gonna change. Open doors.
Yeah.
It opens doors. I've talked to so many of my heroes and been like, just because I'm like, hey, by the way, I press pass.
Listen, Jeremy, you don't understand. My body is ready.
Oh, dude, you're gonna love it.
Like the second the second we went, we're going to Terrificon, I was just like, my time has finally come. My God, time has finally come to do something so stupid I can't even comprehend it.
Yes.
But so Leo, at some point, are we going to talk about some comics?
Yeah, I know. I was going to say it's been like an hour and we've just been having a blast.
Did you like how I segued to that? I was like,
I like the conversation.
Totally, yeah.
Fun story. You know.
Well, I just wanted to bring up real quick. So I found out recently that a version of Popeye is in the DC universe.
What?
So they call him Captain Strong. So I've been on the hunt to find the issues. I found one. I got 2 so far. The other one just showed up.
Leo, I need to say something. I respect you, and I'm really glad to be here, be your friend. You have the weirdest hobbies sometimes. Should you expire?
I think
I feel like the best way to have your memory was we have a yard sale, and I don't know what we're gonna find.
Just make sure my wife gets top dollar for everything, you know.
We'll find right there.
I think Leo just put me onto a new collection. I'm sorry.
So
I'm almost done my treasury.
So the thing was, I thought there was only 2 issues. Turns out they did 8 issues with him. So I found 2 so far.
Leo, put it on your Christmas list, okay?
Yeah. But yeah, it's not in the greatest.
We can get you a nice little...
Yeah. But Popeye is.
No offense. I mean, you care more about if it's a game and it's in pristine condition versus a comic.
Well, no, okay. This was the eBay find. You know, Jeremy got me sucked on eBay.
I'm sorry.
So, no, it's okay. It's okay.
You know, I'm a very frugal auction finder.
Well, you know, this issue, some other people were selling it for around $30, and I'm like, you know, it has to be. You know, I kept on looking for different, and I found somebody selling like a lot of 10 different comics, and this was one of them. So I got 10 comics
Way
for
to do it.
$10. You know,
Do you ever get annoyed by that when you look at the older books and it says, "Oh, this thing for 20 cents," and you're like, "I'm paying $30 for something that at the time was 20 cents."
Yeah, and it's
Supply and demand is a bitch.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
You know?
And then you're excited about it too. You're like, "Oh my god, I got
Oh yeah,
this."
dude.
I know.
Well,
I got #1, not the original one, but the second #1, and I was for $25, and I was like, "Yeah!"
Nah.
what issue was that?
The when the DC redid the Peacemaker,
Oh, Peacemaker. Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
and it was
Nice.
it's that new, I guess the new retelling of the Peacemaker character, I guess,
Yep.
and and of all the stoner superhero characters on TV, Peacemaker is definitely my favorite. I got to put out that.
After that show, yeah, like John Cena has, like, I was going into the Suicide Squad 2 movie,
Right.
going like, oh, this is gonna be whatever. John Cena's in it. Who cares? I've left that and I was like, oh my god, that was the best DC movie yet. And then I watched the show, and dude, he is so versatile. Like,
He is. He's really
he made
bringing
me
it.
tear up. Like, the man was good.
Oh my god, he's really bringing it. I mean, and his banter with Vigilante is just absurd.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have to say that, you know, I even though I thought it was awesome, but Umbrella Academy ripping off the dance in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. I mean, the dance was awesome,
that
but yeah,
was great.
that's so stolen from Peacemaker.
The Boys attempted that too recently. The Boys even did something like that, and it's like,
no kidding.
Are we all in the same universe now, or something?
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody
Pretty,
loves to dance.
I guess, you know.
So Jeff, you mentioned The Boys. Is there anything else you're watching?
I besides like superhero genre stuff, Jeff Bridges is my favorite actor, so I'm very obsessed with The Old Man right now, and that's a really amazing show. And Murders Only in the Building, or Murders in the Building, pardon me, with Steve Martin.
I heard it's good.
It's just really, really good. But I'm excited to see where Titans is going to go. You know, it's supposed to be coming out pretty soon, and I'm a little disappointed though that series are only 8 episodes now. I mean, why are we getting so shortchanged with this? You know?
Well,
Actually, I love that. Sorry, go ahead, Drew.
No, I was going to say that the reason for that is because we've been spoiled with too many seasons where of popular shows where you have literally half a season of filler versus a tight season of 10 episodes that feels like actually well written. For example,
Storytelling.
CW in the later years, on the con, on the pro, things like Daredevil for Netflix. Every episode counts.
It's true.
You know?
It's true. They do write too many episodes of The Flash. You know?
What are they, 24 or something like that?
That's
Yeah,
just
usually they've been cutting it down because I think they finally like, yeah, we just can't write the way it was. Like, yes, it's because we're wise to your filler crap.
and it's like, where are all the great Flash villains? You know, you barely have tapped into that at all, and that's why even like the '90s Flash series that that was
one more group behind us.
What is going on?
I'm sorry. I was trying to. I was trying to pull up some information.
Throwing me for a loop there. I'm like,
sorry.
is everybody hearing that?
No, I was going to add to the conversation. You know, talking about short episodes. Strange New Worlds I've been watching, which is friggin' phenomenal. But I thought last week's was a season finale, or actually a week prior. Turned out they're still going.
And it wasn't.
And the last episode, which I missed,
Well, there you go, Leo.
They introduced Kirk.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Okay,
that's
I
a
have to
little
ask
early,
this.
isn't it?
I don't know if I ever asked this.
I mean,
Has
they
anyone
talked
here
about
met
him in.
Shatner?
Yes,
No.
I was in a commercial with William Shatner. I was in actually stood right next to him for Monday Night Football. I'm in a Raiders uniform. I'm one of the Black Hole members, and I'm standing right next to William Shatner. And Central Casting called me simply because I have long hair. And they're like, "Can you be down to the Rose Bowl in an hour?" I said, "Yes." Next thing I know, I'm standing next to fucking Captain Kirk, and I'm like, "Oh my
nice.
God." And I always thought
Dude,
I had a
talk about
kinda
being in the
like
right
this.
spot all the time.
Oh, I just,
Seriously.
but true. What's weird is, I always thought I kind of had a Kirk-like body. I was like, man, he is tiny next to me. This guy's yeah. But he's such intense, and he was a nice guy. He was cool.
Yeah, it's funny because I met him 2 different times. I met him one time was really good, and the other one time was just meh. And I was just like, because I met him because my dad's the Trek fan, Jeff. So he's the one who introduced me to the original series, and I learned to appreciate that for as absurd as it is. So when I got a chance to meet him, I told him I met him it was a con. I don't really remember which one. It was one of those all Trek cons that they used to do back in the day. And I told him I was
You
getting
mean a Star Trek convention?
Yes, that thing you just said. So
who's smoking too much weed now?
First things first, okay. You cannot even talk to me, sweaty Mick Farmer pants. Okay,
it's fucking hot in here. I'm sorry.
You know what? Listen, why don't you cry about all the auctions you missed because you lost power? So deal with it.
There's probably 3.
Back to my story. So I met him and I told him it's for my dad, and he was like, "That's really great. And when you see your dad, just give him a hug for me." And I'm just like, "Okay." And then I met him the second time to get.
Is that guy. He's that same.
Okay. And then I
just
met him a second time, and he just
I'm sorry, I think there's a little breakup.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh, did you freeze?
Yeah, you got to kick the little squirrel that's running your internet.
Okay, cool. I froze. But no, I met him the second time, and just kind of like I was doing it because I was getting an autograph for my girlfriend's dad because he's a Trek fan. He just kind of brushed it off. I was like, wow, that kind of sucked. He was just, he was in line. He did the thing. He didn't really say hi. He just signed it, and bam. I was like, well, okay, that sucked. Like, okay, well, thank God I got that good time. Like, thanks, Captain Kirk. More like Captain Letdown, but fine.
That's usually the meeting somebody again. I met Ray Bradbury twice, and that Ray Bradbury is my favorite author. He and Philip K. Dick. But I met Ray Bradbury once, and I told him that I wrote short stories, and I was really into his style of short stories, and he signed something, and then 6 years later I went to another book signing, and as I come walking up, before I even got to his table, he goes, "Well, look here, it's my friend, the writer." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Wow. To write, my friend?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "How many stories have you written?" And I said, "I've written 30. He goes, "Write 30 more, and you, my friend, will be a writer." And I was like, he's just Ray Bradbury he had huge memory. It was great.
That's fantastic.
So the second time was better than the first time because he remembered me.
Oh yeah, no. If that had been me for anybody, I would have been like, "I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry. Is this heaven? Because I think I just died."
Right.
I couldn't believe of all the people he meets, he was like this hippie guy walks up and he remembers me. So, but yeah, it's a letdown though when you meet somebody and they're not cool, man. It's like it can be weird, and they don't understand the impact that that one little second has by being weird to somebody.
It's true, and it's so sad, especially, you know what? This is not comics, so we need to get back because I caught
We
myself.
do have to get back there. Leo, you told us we were going to do a tight ship tonight.
Yeah,
what the
hell,
been...
Mr. Tight Ship.
I know. So, artist Lee Cosi has taken Neil Adams' booth at San Diego Comic-Con.
Who?
I don't know if "taken" is the right word, but he.
Who's taking it?
Sorry, what the?
I missed the.
What the Lee Cosi.
I have no idea who the hell this is.
So he's an independent artist.
Yeah.
He's done work.
Neil Adams' booth is huge usually.
Yeah.
Like
It's a lot of. That's a
4
lot
or
of
5
space
tables.
Yeah,
It's got to be an expensive little.
It's always really amusing when you see that. Like, I don't know if you guys, when you're going to be at Terrificon, if you ever see Arthur Saddam's thing, he's got
that's
like
insane.
3 tables, and I'm just like, okay.
I don't understand it. I know he does zombies, but I don't.
It was one of those, like, the Marvel Zombies thing was a fad. It was cool. It is clearly past.
Yeah.
So why do you still have 3 tables? Like, what?
He was an interesting interview, I have to say. He handed me this paper to read before I interviewed him about his family's entire history.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Neil Adams did this?
No, Arthur Saddam.
No,
Neil
Arthur
Adams was
Saddam.
a pleasure, dude. I've heard horror stories about Neil Adams, but with me, I had the best time. He totally did a color sketch of Captain America for my son for free. Like the first time I met him, I was just like, whoa. I was like, Neil, I can't afford that. He was like, it's for the kid. I was like, okay.
I will say thank you and tip my hat as such.
Yeah. And then when I interviewed the guy, he sat there for 45 minutes and talked my ear off. Like he was the nicest guy. Like
Leo, I'm so excited for Terrificon now.
Neil is super cool, dude. Yeah, he's but there were horror stories about, like, oh my god, he's going to be mean to you, or to get ready to be broken. Well, I was at the Denver Comic-Con, the Colorado Springs Comic-Con, and a friend of mine brought him there. So when he was breaking down, I just naturally started helping, and I helped him carry some stuff to his car and stuff like that. And he didn't sign anything or make a big deal. He just looked at me and handed me a comic book that he drew, an X-Men comic book, and said, "Here, that's for you." And I was like,
"Oh, nice.
Good. I'm not going to ask for an autograph, or you handed it to me. Good enough. I'll take it."
No, but it's true, and it's always funny because they appreciate the people who go the extra mile. When I did a group, and Leo, you know the story. I'm sure Jeremy, you do too. When I did my Starman group, and I met James Robinson and Tony Harris, I had like the whole run, and they signed everything, and they didn't charge me for things. This is also back in 2016 when things weren't that bad back then. And Tony, who I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but Tony Harris's commission prices are insane.
Yeah,
I said if I won the lotto,
his work is
gorgeous.
Like gorgeous. Yeah. Like he's selling a new painting today of Indiana Jones. That's fucking amazing. I was like, I wish I had that.
So you know, he gets as a fan and whatnot, and he signed a print for me of Starman that he did, and it is gorgeous. Like I was like, this is so beautiful. And he signed. He's like, here, you've earned this, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Because I put the whole shoot together. I hadn't had anything to drink. I was on 4 hours of sleep. I was dehydrated. I was so happy. I was like, I am running on joy. Okay, if the joy goes, this shuts down. I will crumble like a scarecrow that got cut. I will just. And he gave it to me, and I was just like, I'm going to take such good care of this. I'm going to frame this, and now it's up in my bedroom. And he even signed it to me in his Tony Harris cursive. And I was just like Jeff, like you said, it's the extra effort. If you do it, they love it. And it's just so nice. Like you said, you meet this person and they're exactly what they you want them to be, and you're like, good, and and then
Cool.
you meet that someone's like, oh, and I was like, I'm sorry you had that kind of experience with them. Maybe it was a bad day or whatnot.
Yeah,
Your experience
maybe
is
it's
not going
you.
to tell me this person is not amazing, because mine was astronomical. So
Yeah.
maybe it was you.
Yeah. Well, guys,
Hey, Darren.
unfortunately, I have to bounce because I'm using someone else's phone. And
Oh, no
that's
worries.
okay. We
great
can
to wrap
actually
it.
get to the real meat of the show now. No.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Dude,
Yeah.
Jeff, this was great.
Please check out my comic books, you guys, and I'll make sure I get you some. I'll put some in the mail for you so you guys have some. But I'm out there with Cali Chronic Comix. We're churning out comics all the time. Right now we've got 3 in production, and like I said, The Legend of Mean Green #3 is our newest one. So be sure to check it out. Thanks.
Where can people get them?
Yeah,
where can
Jeff,
people order them?
Where can people order?
You could just hit me up on the Instagram or Facebook, Cali Chronic Comix, and or at the 420 Comic, and hit us up there. And but we've got them in stores across the country. More than likely, if you hit me up, I'll tell you where you can get them near you.
Awesome. I got all those links in the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us.
And thank you, Jeff. And if you ever do that gigantic pot crossover, we'd like a cameo, please.
Yes. Okay, for sure. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Be well.
All right. Now, comic books.
Yeah. So
he had so many good stories. I feel like I have like nerd high, just like listening to him talk. It was like meeting a different version of Jeremy from another universe.
The cooler version of me.
I never said cooler, okay?
No, I'm saying cooler. The guy that's actually gone out and done stuff.
No, you know what? Listen, maybe, Jeremy, you're like the Doctor Who, so maybe you just need to regenerate into him.
That'd be nice.
That'd be cool. So.
I know we are running late, but just to go over some of the news, as we know, Superman is getting like a reboot this year.
Oh my god!
There's going to be.
They all getting a reboot?
They are, but like Superman this has been planned for a while.
What are they rebooting him to?
Number 1.
Yeah, probably.
They're not going to keep the legacy numbering. I hate that.
No, and then they're going to go back to it later on when they want to get
so
the 1100 issue.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 2 Superman booths at San Diego Comic-Con from supermanhomepage.com. So there's going to be a Bizarro World of Superman, me, Bizarro, you not. So I'm assuming that they may cover Bizarro in the recent Superman and Lois storyline.
Yeah.
And then also DC's Jim Lee and Friends.
Ooh. Okay.
Is going to be another one.
Never got a chance to hang with Jim.
I feel like if I ever just got to meet Jim Lee, I would just want to tell him instead, you make it look so easy, which is how I know you're so talented.
Yep.
That's what I feel like I want to say to everyone.
JR Jr. will be at Terrific Con.
Yes, but I am not paying $20 for an autograph. No. I have to draw the line somewhere. Leo could probably, with his Splash Pages dorkening budget of billions of shows now available everywhere, kids.
You realize I flipped a bill for everybody, right? There's
you know what, Leo? I knew I didn't like you.
So Dominique Thorne is going to be in Ironheart. It's been announced.
Okay.
And she's also going to be in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever as Riri Williams.
Okay.
And also in Ironheart is going to be the actor who played Solo, Alden Ehrenreich.
All right. Question.
Yes.
are they really not going to recast a Black Panther?
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong, that guy was good and all,
Chadwick.
but like, we now no longer have, like, would he really want that is his legacy? No more Black Panther?
Well, but the thing being is, Jeremy, is I see your point, and again, we're talking about comics. How many times has there been a different Superman, a different
Exactly.
Batman, a different Green Lantern? But I think it's a little different when it's a real person, and it's hard to replace because again, Chadwick was a fantastic Black Panther. I mean,
I
honestly,
agree, but
but I think what they're doing is they're seeing it as a way to honor his memory, but also to be technically comic accurate, because at one point his sister was Black Panther.
oh yeah, I agree.
So I think it's
And I would
kind
love
of
to see Shuri as Black Panther. That would be dope.
yeah, like for me,
But I don't even think they're going to go that route.
no. Well, I mean, we'll see, because I considering how good Black Panther was, I do have faith in Ryan Coogler and his team. Though I have to say I'm a little skeptical about Ironheart, simply because I feel she represents a trend in comics that I've been seeing very often. I don't like it. The trend being is that we create these temporary fill-ins for characters, but we don't allow them to be their own character.
Yeah.
When Riri was created, she was filling in for Tony Stark while he was in a coma after Civil War II.
And really, she's just a fill-in, like
and
a placeholder to.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that's fair, because it just feels like you're kind of trying to win points by having this character, but you're not allowing them to be their own thing. It's just, this is an Iron Man.
100% agree.
And then when Iron Man, like the best example of avoiding that was Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
He was created in a world where Peter Parker was dead. You had a new Spider-Man, but he was his own Spider-Man. He had his own powers. Similar, yes. He had his own powers. He had his own friends. He had his own issues. And yes, he was half African-American, half Hispanic. And it was awesome, because he was a real character. And that's why he's still part of the Marvel universe. And the same thing we could say for Kamala Khan. Yes, she was Miss Marvel. She had far different powers than Carol Danvers, but she was her own character, and she's still there, and yes, do the characters have ups and downs? Of course, it's comic books. Not everything is a bestseller, but I just feel like, again, it's better when the characters are there, because we wanted to give you a good character versus, hi, we're holding while our big ups go through a transitional period.
Yep.
So
I agree. If you're gonna go for it, Like,
right. That's the thing.
Why
this
why
day and
the
age,
flip-flopping?
Yeah, exactly. It's the flip-flopping, and I just feel like people just don't want to take the risks. I feel like older comics took more risks. They were like, okay, we're going to try this. If it doesn't work, okay, cool. The only thing we waste is, a couple of $1 million in paper and ink. So that's just my thoughts about it. I really hope all the projects do well. And honestly, I'm looking to be proven wrong. But, maybe we as the fans need to be a little bit better about what our expectations are. And maybe the creators need to be a little less scared of, offending people by taking risks. You can't win.
Well, that's the worst part. Like comics and stuff, they're a fictional landscape, playground to, like, you can do with them as you wish.
Right.
And a lot of the time it is the safe route. What the fans are all going to love, and we're not going to even try this and, like, go for it and throw it against the wall, see if it fucking sticks. You get a few issues and they're like, oh man, everybody hates it, we got to change back.
Yeah. Well, it's and then also, by the way, side note to other news, Leo, you would be happy to know that Marvel has recently announced that they are indeed tomorrow, fun fact, we are going to get Mandalorian issue 1, which is Marvel's adaptation, I believe, of they're going to be adapting in comic book form the first episodes of season 1. So 8 issues.
I had that for the poll list.
Me and Leo were chit-chatting.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
I I think that's nice, but honestly, I have to be honest with you, Leo. Even though I'm a big fan of The Mandalorian, like, who am I talking to? Do we really need this though? Like, couldn't we just
I
have
agree.
different? Like, this is just a comic book adaptation of the show. Can I just watch the show? Like, I don't have to worry about the pages sticking. The characters will move.
Wait, Mandalorian pages sticking. Are you that big of a fan, Drew?
No, I'm not that big fan. But I'm just saying is that sometimes when you're
They had
reading,
those dancers at the bar. It was
you're
kind of
funny.
nice.
But do they have Baby Yoda?
They will soon.
This is the excuse me.
Oh,
I have
God.
spoken. But
This went downhill fast.
yeah, it totally did. But I also do want to address switching gears because you guys are stupid. I do want to say it's been a rough week. There's been a lot of deaths that I definitely want to just kind of give a big mention to. The world, we lost James Caan.
Yeah.
We lost Tony Sirico, or I hope I'm saying the name wrong, aka Paulie Walnuts from The Sopranos. And even in the nerd world, we lost Pat, I believe it's Pat McCallum, who was the co-founder of Wizard Magazine, who, yes, he passed away. And I didn't know this, but after he was done with Wizard, he was an editor over at DC till about 2019. So he oversaw a lot of those really good timepieces. And from what I've read of people who worked with him, he was a super pleasant guy, really loved the material, just great to work with. And apparently it was very interesting because I guess the Wizard guys had a kind of larger than life attitude and could be a little big. I was like, okay, like I missed reading Wizard when I was growing up in the 90s.
Yeah,
So,
I knew of it, but it wasn't like I wanted to read the comics, not a magazine about the comics. So
But-
it wasn't my thing.
I see. I enjoyed Wizard, but I still I could have sworn I still have a bunch of them like still bagged.
Okay.
they did have their moments.
Yes, I started picking it up when they did the McFarlane cover. I think that might have been number 1.
There you go. But I just wanted to give all those a shout out. Everybody has their favorites. Again, a nice reminder that nobody lasts forever. So if you get a chance, meet your heroes, kids.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be doing when we go to Terrific Con.
Oh, yeah. Well, so speaking of heroes.
July 29th through the 31st at Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut.
If you mention that you are a fan of the show, we'll take a photo with you and we will only charge you $1.
Hell yeah.
$1.
Some
Daredevil #1, huh?
Yeah, so some of the picks I have this week. So writer is Chip Zdarsky.
Oh, he's doing over on. Wow, he's double dipping, huh?
He is. So
look at him, Marvel and DC.
Yeah. So there's a new Daredevil #1, but this came out last week. I don't know if you had a chance to read Batman 125.
Have not yet. I'm catching up now. I'm back at issue like 106 or something like that.
Yeah. So
I'm good.
So I'm caught up, but the last couple issues I got really confused because they did another crossover series and they continued the storyline in other issues, so I got totally lost.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird when they do that.
Yeah, so like the last 3 or 4 episodes or issues, like I totally lost it. So this one's supposed to be like a complete reboot. And I forgot.
Yeah, this is where Chip first gets on, right?
Yep. And what the hell is it? What are they calling it? I forgot the name.
Isn't it another death in the family or death of or death?
Well, we
The
I don't
Family
want to
Guy.
spoil anything for you, but there are some people missing. And at the end of the episode, because certain people are missing, something happens and a new item is introduced. So, yeah, so it looks like it's going to be promising. At least it seems good so far, but yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. Also in DC, Dark Crisis: Worlds Without a Justice League, Superman #1.
That's on my
Like,
list.
yeah, so talking about different Earths with without a Justice League, telling their stories. And then Son of Kal-El #13.
That's on my list too. Tom Taylor with the very first transgender superhero in
The
comics.
Dreamer. Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I'm not reading anything, so I have nothing on my pull list. But there was one more news I did want to address. I wanted to give a shout out to writer Dan Slott, whose Fantastic Four run will be ending soon with issue 46. Dan's been doing a great run last 4 years. I'm not gonna lie, I did fall off because Fantastic Four has always been a bit of a hard sell for me. It always really depended on the writers and the people doing it. That being said, Dan Slott definitely did a great job. Although I will always think of him as a Spider-Man writer. Fun fact, he's going back to that. He was talking about
his run on Spider-Man's always really good.
Yes. And just again, got to give credit, 4 years. He did a lot of big stuff with his Fantastic Four storylines. Again, he's among one of the many greats. And, hopefully the next person writing will do just as good of a job.
Hells to the yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to give a shout out to one of the soon-to-be greats, Alex Cormack, his new comic book with Comics Tribe, Dig a Sync storyline. He would also be a really good interview if we can ever get a hold of him. He does amazing artwork. Sync is a horror comic.
Okay.
They're doing like a what do you call it? Not crossover, a spin-off series with it now, and he just started. The #1's coming out next week. And then also a shout out to Boom Studios because they're doing the Dune series, The Waters of Conley. I don't know how to say it, but I love Dune.
Oh,
Issue 3 comes out.
Did you ever play the game?
No, I haven't. The world building one.
Dune 2.
I don't know about 2. I know the one where I like played around with it, but never really got into it. I do like the world builders. Where you have your like harvesters out in the sands and stuff, and like get attacked by worms and stuff.
Yep. Dune 1 was more of a storyline type, like point and click. Dune 2 was a real-time strategy, and actually little tidbit of information. That was created by Westworld Studios or Westwood Studios, and so they lost the rights to the game Dune. Dune 2 was a decent seller. It was a great game, but they lost the rights to it, and they were already working on Dune 3. So they made some changes, and they changed it to something called Command and Conquer.
Oh, look at that.
Dune 2, Electric Boogaloo.
The spice will run.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Also, I just wanted to say, before we get to discussing Old Man Logan, which I'm very excited about, however long we talk about it, I also want to say, oh my God, the finale to The Boys was fantastic.
Oh, hell yeah.
My God. Again, I have never been disappointed with a single season of The Boys. Honestly, perfect show. I myself have just started Stranger Things already. My two favorite characters, of the season are still Eddie, because
Dude.
my God, finally we have someone who really enjoys being a metalhead.
Oh,
And
dude.
again, Steve is my favorite of all time, because I'm just like, my God, I've never related more to a character. I'm only on episode 3, by the way, everyone. So please, no spoilers.
Oh, no,
Never
no,
relate
no.
more to a character when he's just yelling in the car about how he's always the babysitter. I'm like, oh my God, wow, thank you, Steve. Every fucking time. Always the babysitter.
Yep.
Except in splash pages.
I'm
Love
the
it.
wrong person to be the babysitter. I'm always the babysitter. Always.
Oh, it's okay. You just have that very nice demeanor. It's your gravelly voice.
Yes.
You sound like you're about to narrate a horror movie. So I just wanted to give those shout outs. I'm very much looking
Wait
forward
until
to
you get to the
Stranger
final
Things.
episode, Drew. You're gonna love
Well,
Eddie
first
that
thing,
much more.
I will say this. I did look ahead because everyone's doing memes about the shit, and I'm hearing all this stuff on the radio. So I do know about the Kate Bush scene, which I thought was very well done. But the Master of Puppets is still one of the best things I've ever seen in Stranger Things.
Dude, I watched it just this morning, and I'm sitting there screaming at the TV through the whole episode. Good thing I was all alone today. Screaming at the TV through the whole episode. I was loving it. It was such a but I thought it was the end of the series. I get to the end and I'm just like, hold on, there's another season I have to
There's
get
one more.
Oh
And Jeremy, they've confirmed everybody that season 5 is the end. But of course, because if it's successful, there will be
spin-offs.
a spin-off series. Thank you, Leo. That's exactly the face I have. It's like, well, okay, that that was a lie.
No, one of the kids said to me today, they're like, don't you want the story to go on? I'm like, usually, yes, I would love a story to go on and on, but I felt like we were coming to the culmination, and I was finally getting all the answers, and everything was coming together, and I was like, I'm ready for it, and it didn't happen. I was like, oof. Yes, like, I got to go through more.
The word you're looking for is closure. Okay,
yeah, I need some closure.
Okay.
I need it.
There's
so
certain
bad.
shows
But I am so happy that they gave us so many answers, though. I have to say.
Okay. No spoilers.
Nope. I will not say any of them. But I'm very happy with the season.
It's the upside down world the entire time.
No.
I'm just guessing. I only saw season 1. So.
Also, wait, you're gonna love it. And Leo, I'm telling you, they do flashbacks throughout the entire season.
Just skip season 2.
Not one of those flashbacks were season 2.
Hey. Give season 2 the due. They were dressed as Ghostbusters.
You only like it because they cover Ghostbusters.
Okay, first things first. I'm still the realist. Okay, because he told me that. Second thing. Okay, and because there was 2 Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Okay.
2. There's 4.
There you go. One for each multiverse. Leo, give credit where credit's due. Moving on. So now, segueing into Old Man Logan.
Oh, hold on. What about the rest of us?
Oh, cool. You guys don't matter.
I didn't like us.
My wife and I are it's not comic book related. It might be. There might be a comic book.
Sure.
Yellowstone?
I want to watch that.
Holy crap, is that good?
I heard good
give
things.
Give it 3 episodes and you'll be friggin' hooked. People are saying is Dynasty meets Sopranos.
Dude, I'm telling you, I gotta find something new. These people, nothing against LGBTQ television at all, but I'm a little over my limit. Like I just.
I'm sorry. Keep going,
dude. I'm between RuPaul's Drag Race, Pose, Project Runway. Like I need. I don't know what I need, but I just need it.
Check out Yellowstone.
Do you need more speed?
Yes, I have a need for speed.
Because I'm telling you, Jeremy, Your farm is writing checks that your body can't cash.
The other thing, I finished Umbrella Academy finally.
I
Okay,
gotta get.
non-spoilery. How good? Because I heard great things.
The season was excellent. The ending, I'm kind of a little let down by the ending. And it seemed like it got weird.
Umbrella Academy got weird.
Well,
I'm sorry, Leo, have you ever read the book?
Yeah.
No,
Like,
but
got weird.
well, no. What I don't understand is
Facebook user agrees.
the end of the world is coming, and it's like they don't give a shit about it. And I know.
Well, they did that in season 1.
Well,
Okay,
no, I
Leo,
mean,
Leo, I want to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's really accurate because if the world was still ending, people would still fight over the dumbest shit.
Oh, dude, for real. It's just like in that Why the Last Man show. Like the whole world was falling apart and you got people fighting over politics. I'm sitting there like, motherfuckers, get outside.
No, but there's just so much good TV now. Honestly, I think it's I want to go out and do stuff, but some part of me is like, no, I want to stay home.
Dude, this is the hardest part for me because like it's summertime and my garden is like insane and like there's so much TV to watch and I feel bad for Leo because Leo's just like every Wednesday they're all like, so did you guys watch this? I'm sitting there.
Why do you think
yourselves?
Well, so I honestly
I don't join on Wednesday because they're all like, oh my god, I watch this, I watch that, I watch this, and I'm not. I'm like, I saw something.
Yeah, I got through Stranger Things finally.
Well, honestly, I don't watch a ton of TV. It's I know on the Wednesday shows like Brandon, he watches a lot more than I do, but I watch some weird shit. I watch like all those paranormal shows, but regular shows, I watch Superman and Lois, Strange New Worlds, all the Marvel shows and whatnot. I still need to get caught up on the DC shows like Titans.
Yeah, like dude was talking about Titans, and I was like, oh shit, I've forgotten all about that show.
Yeah, but there's going to be a new episode of Skinwalker Ranch tonight.
Oh boy!
I'm excited for that.
I'm sure.
Jabo agrees with me that there's way too many things to watch on Wednesday. You need to put limits, Leo. You need to put boundaries. God damn it! Okay, wild west in there.
At least put out a homework list on Saturday so I can like arrange my midnight to 4 a.m. viewing sessions.
There you go.
So, by the way, Leo, before we get into Old Man Logan, which again, very excited, it only took us an hour and 43 minutes to do. But I swear, I kind of envision Terrificon is the Dorkenings version of a crossover event because it's literally so many people. I'm like, oh boy.
I agree, Jay.
We have Saturday morning cartoons on Dead Dork Radio.
Yeah,
can't wait. Love that shit. Hey, wait, whoever's doing that, if they cover Real Ghostbusters and I'm not there, I will punch someone.
Oh no! It's our radio station.
I don't care.
Did you enjoy the original Ghostbusters cartoon?
Oh yeah, the Real Ghostbusters.
Okay.
The real
the one with no the monkey one with the car and you crank it up.
Go Ghostbusters! Yeah, no.
Okay, I was all alone in that.
No, it was fine. It was a little weird.
No, definitely, especially since it was not the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it was just one of those where I remember one time I saw a thing. I was like, "This is the Ghostbusters? Like, why is there a monkey? Like, what Hanna-Barbera shit is this?" Yeah, Jabo, when it does,
what the
it's
fucking
called
Great Babe
Walk
Happy.
Party, dude.
Pluther, it's already up there.
Yeah, I know. So, on a different note, so Old Man Logan in 15 minutes or less.
Oh, yeah. 15 minutes or less, Old Man. Dude, I thought I had read this before,
Mm-hmm.
I this was a totally different Old Man Logan than what I read. I don't, because like I remember Maestro being in the Old Man Logan I read and like being the leader. But like no, this was I
Yes.
was
So there's an Old Man Logan storyline, and this was like a one-off, like 5 issues, right? So
This
what's
no.
no
This
no
was
no no. This was the Wolverine series, and
right. This
they
was
did
8 issues. Leo, what you're thinking of is give me a second because my comic book brain is like pushing all the info out. This is the original. Then there was a Secret Wars tie-in that brought a version of Old Man Logan to the Marvel universe. Then you had the ongoing series, which one of the storylines, Jeremy, dealt with Old Man Logan versus Maestro.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what that is. And then there's also a mini series where it was, I think it was Deadpool versus Old Man Logan. It was Old Dead Logan, and that brings us up to speed. But this was first things first. I own all this in original printing, first printings. I remember when this would come out. This was the only comic book that I bought that everybody in my apartment actually made sure to read.
I can understand why.
And we couldn't have been any more of a different. I had Settlers of Catan, Nerd, LARPing, and then my last roommate was just like, "Yeah, I'm here." It was just like, wow.
All right.
But
First
everybody
row.
read it. So I just want to say the first thing is I love this team. Mark Millar and Steve McNiven are they collaborate so well together. They made Civil War what it was today. A gorgeous book from beginning
Don't
to
forget
end.
Dexter Vines in that little grouping.
Of
He
course,
worked on the Secret Wars also.
I would
Or
never
not
forget.
Secret Wars, Civil War.
Listen, I would never forget Dexter Vines. He's a great guy. I've met him a few times. The same thing with this, but this is, I think, my favorite thing of their collaboration. I mean, the story
That right there
is top notch. The art is amazing. I mean, look at that. Like how
yeah, when Wolverine has the like thought of like just popping the claws, and I thought it happened. I was like, wow, that was quick. And then he's just like, nah.
But I will say this. I love Millar's style because he is so good at giving you these little tidbits, like hints of other stories within his stories that you're like, oh my God, I want to know more. Like, why the fuck are there dinosaurs in the Savage Land? Like, why is there?
I have to go back and figure out what's going on with Hawkeye's freaking daughter now.
Yeah, exactly.
She is a badass.
Right. So, but the whole thing is it's a wonderful story. It touches all the good things. And I just also love that it's the worst superhero road trip in the world, but it's perfect.
Oh, dude, and all the as you were saying, all the little like side things that Millar throws in, fucking Pim Falls, like that was so cool. Like the spider buggy. I'm just like spider buggy.
What
Spider
about
buggy does whatever a spider can.
and what about just a couple panels, Daredevil and Punisher?
Oh, right.
Holy shit, that was dark.
That was wicked dark.
Mark Millar has never been afraid of going dark with his stuff. And honestly, I would love to do this version of Hawkeye as a cosplay because he's just an ornery fuck.
Yeah.
Although I'd have to wear a wig because I cannot grow a ponytail to save my life. I'm sorry, him taking out the Ghost Riders. I mean, again, I don't mind talking about it because this thing has literally been out there since, I don't know, 2008.
2011.
2011, right. So this has been out here a long time. So no offense, everybody. If you're going to, spoilers, please read this. It does not matter what we're going to tell you. You need to read it for yourself.
Thor's hammer just sitting there in the middle of the freaking wastelands and nobody can pick it up. That's great.
But like I said, for me, it was the little stories that were great. But the most devastating story was what happened the night the heroes took the villains took over.
Dude, I knew it.
God.
I knew that's where he was going with it as it's going on. I'm like, dude, somebody's fucking with his brain. I'm like, totally somebody has him seeing. And when it was Mysterio, I was like, that is so good.
What a great use of Mysterio.
Why would it be Mysterio, though? I mean,
it's just illusions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he mentioned that even
he could smell. Yeah, like that did confuse me too.
Yeah.
Well, listen, again, first things first, I don't understand it, but every good villain, for some reason, decides that he wants to use nerve gas or something. Green Goblin's done it. Mysterio's done it. I just think what it is Mysterio upped his game, you know?
Yeah. Just real quick,
well,
the
yeah, they
Raptors tearing apart Punisher
and Daredevil.
What was?
Oh my God, yeah.
You know,
dude, I'm telling you, when Kingpin lost his head, that was just, I was like, whoa, was not expecting that.
Yeah, again, this series, there's not a single issue in this entire series that is wasted.
Yeah.
Although I will say one of my favorite side things that I thoroughly enjoyed
shotgun
was a Venom possessed T-Rex.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh yeah, yep.
Is this considered the first Venomized other being besides Venom and Spider-Man?
No, there's been a lot of others. Animals. Dogs.
Oh, I thought this might have been the first one.
No.
Okay.
Well, because Carnage was before this.
I know it became like Carnage is a different symbiote or symbiote. Whatever you people want to, however you want to pronounce that, altogether.
Just,
but
Jeremy, just don't call it a symbiote. Don't call it that, because Venom did that, and I was Venom did that, and I was like, it's a symbiote. You know, it was like a symbiote, and I'm like, oh my god,
dude, you know why that screwed me up? For the longest time, I thought it was Thanos, and I didn't know. I was saying Thanos the wrong way.
Oh, it happens. Listen, the point being, Jeremy, is this day and age, someone will know who you're talking about. So it's no longer like you're just going to go around saying it wrong. Someone's going to be like, it's Thanos. I'm like, oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that, random nerd.
Yeah. I get corrected a lot.
I also want to say this. This was the creepiest use of the moloids I've ever seen.
Dude.
You know, and you don't think of them as, you're just like, oh, it's the mole man's lackeys, you know?
Yeah, I was just
like,
who cares
well,
about them?
That's terrifying.
Like whole cities, and they just freaking ate everybody.
Like, I will say this, that was great. Logan confronting Red Skull.
Very
also
cool.
Great. But I will say the ending is my favorite, because seeing him just go off.
I'm sorry, but Bruce Banner explaining that him and Jen got it down.
Oh, jeez.
I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, the fact that his explanation was she was the only one who could keep up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, whoa.
That was some fucking, I was like, wow, Mark. No. Whoa.
You know, the one thing I really will say, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm dominating this, but I just love that Millar tells you enough that you don't always need to see what happens. Like, you know, you see Logan standing out there, and you just know those three Hulks in that mansion after like slamming a bunch of hookers. You're like, no, you guys are dead. We don't need to see it. We know you're dead.
Nope. Yep.
You know, this like when they pick single pages, look at that. Not just the detail, but the reality.
Every single X-Men.
Yeah,
the way Mysterio explains it too, he's like, "What, you think you could take on this many villains, dummy?"
Pretty much. And I'm just like, yeah, you keep talking about that fishbowl head.
Yeah. Right.
No, but like I said, it was just like again, this series was really more of that lightning in a bottle. It really, we'll never see something else like this again.
No.
But it was phenomenal.
Just real
beginning,
quick, Wolverine trying to commit suicide
Right.
by
Rain.
train decapitation. Oh my god!
Yeah, and he still couldn't make it work.
But
the Ant-Man kid.
Oh yeah, Dwight.
was so, he's like, yeah, Dwight's serious.
Yeah, and but that's what we see. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to
No.
see everything. You just see that, and that is a credit to both Millar's script and to McNiven's artwork.
yeah,
They say just enough.
yeah, with Ant-Man there, I mean, it's just awesome that it's just one little panel and you see like all these, skulls, meatless skulls, just insane.
And you just realize, yep, you got to pay that 80 cents.
Oh yeah.
But this was a fun reread to go back to. Also, on top of it, I just need to acknowledge this: Emma Frost and Doctor Doom. Like, what?
That was so cool.
Oh
And
no!
that's
no.
where,
what was so cool was this Black Bolt.
Oh, dude, yeah. They're just like, I hear that creature's a little sensitive to sound. I was like, oh shit.
And it just goes
Stop.
in. Like I said, every issue.
And these are stories I'd like to know more about. Emma Frost and Doom. Like,
yeah,
I'd love to find out the whole, like, how that happened.
Honestly, if I will say this, Jeremy, if you really do want to read more, the Bendis Andrea Sorrentino Secret Wars miniseries does continue some of the stories.
Does it?
So
Okay,
it's
I'll
definitely, check that out, because that's how they continued the story, but that's how they also brought him into the Marvel, the mainstream Marvel world.
No, this book was so good that by the end of it, I was just like fiending to read something else.
Also, Leo, I completely forgot. There's I just remembered that there's also a series called Old Man Hawkeye, which is a prequel that I completely forgot about.
Oh,
yeah, that's supposed to, I guess, explain how Hawkeye became what he was. Yeah, I'll have to read that. I'll let you guys know how that is.
Actually, I might look that up because it might go into more of his daughter and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this is.
Yeah, the Red Skull was so dope. I was just like, yeah, of course he's the president.
And it's funny because the trophy room reminded me a little bit of Maestro. Actually, I don't know if it was Maestro. Rick Jones in that storyline had a trophy room like that.
Future Imperfect.
Yeah, the Future Imperfect. Rick Jones had a trophy room that was full of Marvel artifacts like that.
Was it Rick Jones or was it the Future Hulk?
No, it was Rick Jones. But then, of course, when he killed Rick, then that became his trophy room.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I also have to say, Red Skull wearing Steve Rogers' costume, I was like, wow, this is
talk about. Yeah, that's some deep shit right there.
Especially that, like, just that one scene where the sword colliding with the shield, and he's like, oh, come on. It's just, again, like, look at that.
A lot of heads coming off in this story.
Yeah, yes, a lot of heads were rolling in this one.
Mm-hmm. And then he puts on the Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, he killed the president. What would you expect?
Does that mean he's now the president? Or does that only work in Kingpin's area?
I don't even know anymore. But no, it was just, in the end, what happened to his family was just so tragic.
Oh, dude, that was fucking brutal too. Yeah.
And then
you kind of knew it was coming, but like,
that was the best. It's just a full page, and all you know is that. And then Leo. Bam.
The blood dripping from.
And it's funny because when this originally, because that was the last issue, I was like, oh my god, why are you going to end on that note? And then they released the giant size issue, and I was like, okay, thank God, because you can't end it on that note.
No. I have to say Hulk eating Wolverine, then Wolverine regenerating in his tummy. Oh my God.
He like what I just enjoy is like this, like the ending just became basically a horror movie, and it was just so good. Like right up there. Like that image to me is just fan-fucking-tastic. You know, but that's just me.
No, I loved all this.
No, it was, listen,
Fucking blows his face.
great.
Boom. And I'm not even like a huge Wolverine like story reading fan, because like in the 90s he became so, it was like Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and the Punisher were all these, like everybody read them, and I'm sitting there reading Fantastic Four still.
Hey, listen, don't turn down Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four was legit. You know, at some point we got to cover some of that John Byrne Fantastic Four. You know, that shit was legit. Yeah, Leo.
That's so good.
Oh my God.
And now it's like a lone wolf and cub story at the end. He's just like walking away with little baby Hulk.
And then, like I said, it's crazy because Millar's run of Fantastic Four actually tied into this. So a lot of his storylines Millar did, where we read 1985, his Fantastic Four run would tie into 1985 as well. So, you know, definitely really some interesting things there. But yeah, I'm sure I would have loved to what Rich would have thought of this. I'm sure he enjoyed it. But yeah, this is hands down one of the best, and also one of the best-selling Wolverine titles I think it was ever written. So, and as you guys can now see, rightfully so.
Yeah, that was definitely good. Are we getting to scoring?
Oh, hell yeah. I was just thinking.
I heard somebody's alarm go off. Is it Betty Bye time, Drew? Oh, you got one for me.
I'm trying to think of good analogies.
I'm very interested in reading more Millar stuff.
Leo, I will give you a list if you want of recommended Millar stuff. I'll send that to you right after we're done.
The stuff that I have read of his is definitely very interesting. The only thing that with his stuff that was a little concerning to me, that it's always already optioned for a television show as soon as it comes out, and it's
that's just how he does his stuff. His rules are very simple. Anything he creates, he co-owns with the artist.
Mm-hmm.
And before the first issue's out, the film options are already signed. He knows
people are all going nuts over him.
You know,
but it's good marketing.
Listen,
definitely gets him sold.
It's true, but I would love to cover, because he has some really good stuff. I would love to cover more of it.
I like
Leo,
his.
I will give you a list.
I liked his series he did with Capullo there. I forget what it was called, but
Reborn.
It had to do with heaven. Yeah,
I own it.
Really interesting.
I have it all signed by Capullo.
I haven't gotten it signed, but like Capullo is one of my favorite artists of the modern era. The guy is phenomenal. Everything from Spawn and on.
Storyline?
Reborn is basically you die and then you come back, and you're younger and better shape, but you're now fighting a war.
Yeah.
So it's basically,
and so don't your pets.
Yeah. So basically, but you come back and you're basically a soldier now in the war of good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
So again, Leo, I'll give you the list.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Very.
Do we have a book for next week already picked out?
We do not.
I have some ideas, but I definitely want to hear Velvet pitch because I think I was actually, you know what? Let's wrap up the show and we can discuss it because we're already running behind. So, what do you want to do? I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. Briefcase, Hulk, claws. No, it's a really good analogy for this. We could use as like a star.
How many popped claws?
Ooh, there we go.
There you go. Perfect. Who wants to go first?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 4.9999999. I
Cute.
can't say it perfect because like I don't know if I could, because like the next book will come along and I'll be like, oh, that's so amazing and nobody could do better than this. But like, God, was that so good? It was so good.
I will say for me, I definitely give it because I very rarely will give a 5 review. I'm going to go 4.75 because I agree with Jeremy. Like, very few things are perfect, but this is pretty damn close as both a story, a collaboration, and a really kind of multiple genre stories. There's cowboy, action, sci-fi, superheroes, romance. There's literally something for everybody, and it's told in such a way that I feel like you have to finish reading it.
Yeah.
Leo?
Well, I'm gonna go right there with both of you. It's I've given too many 5s in the past because you know me, I love everything, but this was friggin' phenomenal. I'm gonna give this 4.999. Right there with Jar Jar. Oh my God, it was such a good read. I blew through it all in one night and just
same here.
Yeah,
I feel like I would love to watch Leo read because I feel like when you hit a moment, his face probably lights up. Like, oh, I can see you sitting reading, like, I can just imagine if you don't care about it, like, I didn't care for that.
While drinking a nice glass of Chardonnay.
Exactly.
Well, my wife
didn't care for that.
My wife can tell, if I don't care for the book because she'll be like, "Oh, you read that pretty fast," just. Why am I reading this shit? Why am I reading this?
All right. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap things up. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. You know me, Google Leo Pond. You'll find my stuff. I run the Dorkening Podcast Network. We got a ton of shows on the network. There's so many awesome people doing so many awesome things. Head on over to thedorkening.com, which you can find out all about those shows. And Jar Jar, where do you like people interacting with you?
Holy cow. This week, I'm going to do something a little different. I have a friend, Chris Mitchell. He runs a wonderful online comic service, and I'd like to, because he helps me out so much, I'd like to pass on some helpings to him. Go check him out, Box of Comics. You can find him on Instagram, Facebook, the website Box of Comics with an X at the end.com, Box of Comics on Facebook, and Box of Comics with an X at the end on Instagram. Get all your new issues, old issues, blah, blah, blah issues. The guy's a great guy, easy to make a deal with. Check him out. And Comic Book Lovers. He's also an admin on Comic Book Lovers, buy, sell, trade, and auction for Facebook.
Nice.
Drew. I mean, how can I follow that up? I'm Drew. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. If you really want to see anything else I do that's not talking nerd shit, I do a lot of stuff for Screen Rant. I'm a writer there. I'm also their hiring manager for comics.
Hold on. Isn't that nerd shit?
Yes, indeed. But I do a lot of things here. I'm somewhere, I'm everywhere, and I'm really too tired. So just if you're gonna try to bring drama, somebody else.
Drew's stuff on Screen Rant, I can attest to. Read it; it's very good. It's usually stuff with the Ultimate Universe. Lately, it hasn't been Ultimate Universe. You went into some other stuff, but I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it quite a bit because it's usually stuff I haven't read, and it gives me an kind of an eye into different stuff, different genres.
You're welcome. That's the point. But, well, thank you, everybody. Hide your kids, hide your Hulks. Old Man Logan.
I got 2 of them.
I know. Thank you. And we're all good. And everyone have a good rest of the night. And I don't know. Happy Tuesday.
Happy
We
Tuesday.
out.